Hello and welcome to Campaign Comrades, your favorite leftist gaming podcast. It is essentially middle of March. By the time we're releasing it, will be
pretty much
basically
dead middle this weekend.
Dead middle,
This
yeah.
is
Last month fucked me up so bad because we recorded technically the first week of the month, but because it's a short month and all that, it
was the God month. It was the perfect month. It was a Sunday to Sunday month.
Yeah,
four straight weeks, Sunday to Sunday.
Completely messed me up. So, but yeah, now we're back. We're back where we should be. Checking in middle of March.
Well, it's weird because this is a month where we're gonna have 2 extra weeks, just the way that the weekends fall.
Yeah, we got a double freebie week. You can check out last week. Andrew and I talked about Sony's PC plans or lack thereof, I guess, and what that means for them and for the console market, and been stirring up some good engagement, some good conversation. Some people with interesting takes, pro and for, and some realists and some who are sniffing the hopium in some direction, either way. But then there's just been as any online discourse is going to generate, some just absolutely brain dead. Just somebody basically posting that they thought it essentially went so far as to assume that Sony owns GTA and why that was going to be a big deal for them. And it's there's a
theory
knock-on
that
effect.
Sony has the marketing rights.
I mean, and it's only on console, and it is essentially a de facto PlayStation exclusive just by
the numbers,
just by market share. Who's going to see console sales boosted because of GTA? It's going to be PlayStation. Yes. So maybe that was the thought that they had in their mind, but they worded it like an actual
Switch 2 port where it hits the God roll and they get good optimization. Handheld GTA wherever you want.
That'd be crazy. But that was what we covered last week. So we'll see what major news drops next week for us to kind of dive into. But
we probably be layoffs.
Yeah, I mean there was the EA layoffs at across the Battlefield portfolio of studios.
I was reading something
sold 20 million copies and still.
Yeah. Well, I was reading something where the GDC conference this year was highlighted by either laid off or unemployed devs giving pointers on how to fix your resume, essentially.
Well, they had a job coaching booth.
Yeah.
Good for them, I guess. Showing some solidarity, helping people affected, but that sucks. That's
the article I was reading was it's kind of a very sour way to go about the conference.
I mean, I'm sure that's a great resource, for some people, but yeah, that sucks. That's brutal.
What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to use AI to invent companies that you have better experience with.
You spent 8 years on a game that never shipped, and now you can't put it on your resume. Yeah, let's drum something up for you, folks. It's been an interesting month of gaming, though. We've had some high-profile releases. The major games are starting to roll out. The heavy hitters. What's the current number for Pocopia sales? I heard 1 million in Japan alone. Its first weekend.
The number that I posted was 2.2 million in 4 days.
Can someone explain what Pocopia is to me? Because I haven't looked. I haven't looked at what this is. I just
you've definitely seen it. You've definitely seen it at a showcase or something.
So buckle up, Andrew. You're in the first gen Pokemon area. It's post-apocalyptic. You have no fucking clue what went on. You're a Ditto for some reason, but you're emulating being a person because art imitates life.
You're trying to
You're doing terraforming to bring Pokemon back to a wasteland. And it's Pokemon meets Animal Crossing meets Dragon Quest Builders. And it's the perfect storm of those 3 cozy/toxic gamers all coalescing into an actually well-reviewed and apparently good game.
I would call them obsessive gamers, right? People who, because it's like the Dragon Quest Builders, because I know Andrew's not familiar with that either. It's kind of essentially light Minecraft elements, environmental resource gathering, building.
I know you look skeptical, Andrew, but it's apparently sold out physically in a majority of storefronts.
They increased the price of it on Amazon to reflect demand. Only on Amazon though. Only on Amazon.
Well, that's common for Amazon.
Yeah. They raised it to $80. I can't blame Nintendo for that one. But this is it's the Dragon Quest Builders devs, but also you should put this in your head. Those are the same devs as the Dynasty Warriors people. It's Omega Force from Koei Tecmo. They're the Muso people. Also do Pokemon Pokopia. It's like currently the highest rated Pokemon game ever. It's insane. And
so it is a Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Yes.
But not made by Game Freak. But it's an official partnership with the Pokemon Company, selling gangbusters.
I think it was Greg Miller I was listening to on Kinda Funny said that he was at a Best Buy like buying something or like waiting for an order to get picked up. And he was like, I've never seen so many people like walk in and be like, do you have Pokopia? And they were like, no, sorry, we're sold out. And like a constant stream of people coming in. And obviously he's talking in LA because if I go to my local Best Buy, they'll be like, oh my God, a person's here.
I think I checked because I was curious, and I will get to it. I myself am personally a little curious about the game itself, but I checked my Best Buy had like 2 copies when I checked last night, and it's gonna potentially be a game that's gonna make me eat my words twofold. First off, it's that physical
it's a cozy
copy
builder, and it's Pokemon.
Yes, and it's a game key card if I'm gonna get physical, because I'm weighing my stuff here, right? It's a game I'm still highly skeptical that I would enjoy, so it would at least give me some freedom to resell if I really don't like it. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I don't like game key cards, but this is an instance where, okay, maybe I get it so that I can potentially sell it and get some of my money back if I don't like it.
All I'm saying is Parky is playing Pokopia in her free time when she's not thirsting over Leon.
I mean, it feels like everybody's playing it in their free time. But another reason that I am curious is just because my nephew is just really getting so into Pokemon that I'm looking for interesting ways that interest me more to engage on that level. So you
got to be careful though, because if you get him too hooked into that type of you might become an Animal Crossing kid. Next thing you know, he's Tom Nooking you.
What I don't want him to be is I really just don't want him to become a Minecraft kid. That's the Pandora's box. I don't want it.
The path to 4chan.
No, that's Roblox.
My sister is obviously the one who is kind of guiding him along this journey. He's still, very young. They've gone to their local game store that has they have the different events, including
get elbowed by a middle-aged, overweight man.
The people have been extremely nice to him. I'll tell you this. Somebody who was not actually an employee of the shop. I expected when I heard the details of this story that it was the shop who did it as a way to, invest in him as a future customer. No, so one of the participants that was there who is like a reseller or whatever, he does conventions and sells stuff, whatever, gave him a battle deck and a playmat for free. Because again, saw how the people there apparently have been exceptionally nice to him and just want to encourage him. And so they apparently do have these Pokemon Academy sessions where they've got dedicated adults who are focused on teaching young kids how to play the card game, and he's still not even quite he's still not even quite at that point yet, because my sister talked to one of them and they're like, how's his reading? He's just started kindergarten. He's not at that level.
You need to be able to read for that to be picturable by everyone.
In some
but when capacity. You're that young, no one knows how to read, so you just make shit up on the fly. Do you know how much Yu-Gi-Oh rules I made up on the fucking playground?
Future game master in training, right? But my sister is doing this with him, and as a way to share something with him. And so they apparently downloaded one of because there are 2 of the mobile game collecting apps. It's not TCG Pocket. That one apparently is mainly for collecting digital cards, which is weird to me, and a very stripped down version, basically, but a stripped down version of the game. Whereas a more authentic, while still, I couldn't find direct confirmation, it may still be a slightly kind of dumbed down version, but a more authentic, truer version of the game on Pokemon TCG Live. But so they started watching tutorials, started playing on that, and so I've made an account and
started watching the anime.
We're gonna battle each other. Yeah,
that's how you.
Yeah, they've
That's
watched
how you slowly bridge the gap. You get them on Pokemon first. And then you're like, I've got this really cool show that's just like Pokemon, and you show him Dragon Ball.
Okay, I was going to say I'm going to radicalize him by showing him One Piece.
See, I think everyone should start on Dragon Ball because it's important for them to realize that all of their problems in life can be solved by getting really fucking angry.
Getting really pissed. Yeah. That's healthy. But yeah, that's been funny. But so like again, I don't want to like play.
You don't have another Jujutsu Kaisen because that just makes him sad as all the fun characters just die.
But I don't want to play like the traditional Pokemon games because they're boring and not good anymore.
Hey man,
so.
Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Yeah, maybe. Hit. But like I don't want to like buy Pokemon Legends ZA to play that with him. So if this is potentially a way to. Because he's shown less direct interest
Pokopia
in
has,
those aspects.
I think it has couch co-op. I know it has multiplayer.
It at least has game share.
Yeah.
And the co-op bit that I know of is like there's a dream place island like that you can access multiplayer, which just after I had dinner tonight, I was scrolling and I saw an article that apparently there's a Team Rocket themed group of griefers on Pokemon Pokopia who are exploding people's fantasy islands in the multiplayer zone. Like people have built up all these things to attract the legendary Pokemon, and they're just blowing them up.
Respect.
But doing it themed as Team Rocket is what's really great. Yeah, so that's one of the first things that I've played this month is I set up my account on Pokemon TCG Live, and I went through the tutorial missions, and have learned some of the basics of playing the game. That's one of the first things for me.
Is deep in the basement of my childhood home, buried somewhere in a closet, is a notebook of old Pokemon cards because I was a weird kid who took care of most of their shit.
I kept mine in a binder. Except I sold them eventually. But I didn't like keep them in a tin or rubber band them or anything.
There's probably some money.
I put mine in a binder. I was more respectful when I was a child than I am now.
Because now you're like, it's just fucking cardboard.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that cardboard's worth money.
Value is derived by, whoever's
supply and demand.
And my value perception is not much. The enjoyment they provide is my value perception.
I think
not speculative. It's
I think
bullshit.
One of the times that Andrew came to visit up here and he brought his Tyranid Commander deck and took it out and snapped off the rubber band, I wanted to just smack him.
Yep, they're right here.
Particularly because the thing came with a box. It's a shitty little cardboard box, but it came with a box to put them in.
So the thing about that is I opened it too aggressively and I ripped that box in half when I opened the larger package.
Jesus.
So yeah, that was no longer useful.
Andrew has the capabilities of like a small child on Christmas when it comes to opening packages. He just grabs it with two hands and he doesn't look for a tab that will
have
let
we
you
ever
just
put
pop
a
it
phone
open.
book in his hand? Can you tear a phone book? Can you use that?
Ripping a phone book is not as difficult as one might anticipate.
That youthful strength. Well, particularly nowadays when the phone books are like this thick.
Yeah.
Those old school phone books.
We're showing our age by even referencing phone books.
I'm sure the kids don't even realize that the Yellow Pages is a functional website these days.
You
can still I didn't realize the Yellow Pages still had a website.
Or maybe it's the White Pages. I forget. There is one that still exists.
The White Pages is is people. Yellow Pages is
so it's probably the White Pages, something like that.
I mean, I'll still never forget the nice way of saying the Rain Man who worked at the local Stop and Shop in our hometown, who seemingly just knew everyone's phone number. If you just told him the last name, like he read the phone book a billion times.
I remember he used to do he's a nice guy, but I remember he was
absolutely a nice guy.
I remember he used to do the your birthday, and he knew the day of the week. I remember he did that one. He did that one for me on multiple occasions. That was fun. All right, so boys, what else have you been playing? Matt, I know like yours is like you kind of have to tiptoe around. We're going to be covering Returnal for your podcast in about a couple weeks.
3 weeks.
For next month. So obviously, you know, main game is off limits. However, I never touch, and I don't think Andrew's going to touch it all. I don't see a reason why we need to talk about it in the main pod. We'll have plenty else to talk about.
How dare you? There's so much story implications hidden in the tower.
I think you can just talk to us about the Tower of Sisyphus. Give us the rundown, because yeah, Matt, you've been spending time platinuming.
Is
Returnal.
that the DLC?
Yeah, so it was the free post-launch update, and it's basically a way to just like inject the gameplay directly into your veins and like not have to worry as much about layout or like power-up pickups, because you're just gonna do a set number of rooms and you'll get like a mandatory pickup room that'll give you some health upgrades, or will give you some weapon choice changes, or will give you a mandatory choice between two parasites where you've got to pick one, you know, and add to your loadout. It's basically a really fun way to try new things for the game, and it's a great way to just like, with no real stakes involved, just be like, okay, you know, the shotgun sucks, but like it gave it to me, so I'm gonna
suck.
Use the shotgun to try to unlock some perks for it and like try to like feel it out and get a little better with it. Oh boy, I died on the 6th level. That's a really good sign.
Okay, so
but it's endless. So it's broken into chunks. So the chunks are 20 rooms, and every 20 rooms at the end you'll fight a boss. And after your first chunk of 20 rooms, he has 1 health bar. After your second chunk, he has 2 and has a phase change. After your third chunk, he has 3 with another phase change. And that's the main bit. And after that, it's the same 3 health bar boss at the end of each one. The farther up the tower you get, the more damage the enemies do, the more health they have, the more aggressive enemy spawns will be. And it's like, it gets pretty chaotic. I've gotten to the 6th chunk, so I've gotten up to I think
over 120.
Well, I got over 100, 115 before it was basically like, didn't matter.
How long does a floor take?
I mean, some of them can be less than 15 seconds.
Is a floor like equivalent to a room, essentially?
It's more condensed than that most of the time. Most of them are like, think of just like a small square
combat
arena.
Encounter. Just a combat. Each floor is
with some slight different arrangements. So like some will have different high grounds, and the farther up you get, the more, or I should say, the less of each room there is. So like in the first one, the rooms are all enclosed spaces with solid floors. In the second one, a lot of the walls disappear and some of the floors are, you know, more open. So there's some pitfalls. The third set,
can you fall out of the tower?
I mean, if you fall, it's like if you fell into a pit in the game where you take some damage and you respawn back up. But it was also a really fun way to like farm out enemies and basically like maximize a lot of my enemy logs and getting them all up to 100%, just because it'll spawn in different enemies throughout.
Where is this in the game?
When you
start the game,
start a run, instead of running straight ahead where the door is, if you look to the right, there's a ledge.
Yeah.
I don't think you can access it yet.
You can only access it once you get the grappling hook.
Yeah. Once you have the grapple, you can grapple up there.
I did open that door, but then I was like, oh, the tower. Turn right around. And like, it's
very fitting. You know, the Tower of Sisyphus, it's a futile climb. You can never get to the top. It's always never ending. You start back at the bottom whenever you fail.
Okay, so I know you probably know this. It's like the most anyone's done.
Yeah, do they have leaderboards? Do they have leaderboards?
Yeah, there's got to be a leaderboard.
So it's simultaneously how many floors you can go, but also there's a point total per room. So like killing enemies quicker increases your multiplier, and then the quicker you exit a room, the higher your multiplier stays, and you get bonuses for. So like you gain a feel really quick for like, oh, that's the last enemy. I want to be standing on the teleporter while I'm shooting him, so that when I kill him, I can instantly port to the next room to keep my multiplier up. And it's how you get a really high score when you get higher up.
Does the score translate to anything? Like a reward? Or is it it's just a leaderboard?
It's just bragging rights.
I was wondering if it was like, if it would do something like the adrenaline system.
No. You do get ooblets.
Ooblates.
For getting out of rooms quicker. You can get a 50 ooblet bonus. There are set areas where you can buy pickups or craft augments,
and you don't have
I had a real good time with it.
If you think it does contribute to the story, you don't have to like talk about the context, but like, yeah, what does you were saying that there is a collectible element, like in terms of the codex and stuff? How does that work?
So there's more audio logs, and there's more ciphers and glyphs to be able to read and understand. But it basically centers around Celine's relationship with her mother and really fleshes out that part of the story. So after you fail your first run, you'll respawn back in the first area, and there'll be a hospital bed there, and that serves as your house, essentially, where every time you finish a run...
cutscene elements like that?
There's cutscene elements, there's interactables with story tidbits like newspaper articles or medical prognoses or childhood drawings, things like that. And each time after you go to the hospital for the first time, when you run through the tower, you'll find poppies, little flowers, and you basically have to collect 6 poppies to be able to finish all of the hospital sequences, and you can only collect 1 flower per run.
So
and
how
they
long
spawn in set rooms.
How long did the full platinum take you?
Including the DLC. So I picked the game back up at 21 hours in the second act, and then I think it says I'm at 48 now total. But I was gonna say the tower made for a good breakup, where I finished Act 3. And instead of immediately going and farming the zones to find the missing ciphers and scout logs, I went and did a majority of the tower and basically ran through the tower a bunch of times, got all of the poppies, just kind of took that in. And then when I got to a point where I would have had to just run the tower for scout logs and ciphers, I was like, okay, well, that's not trophy related. If I'm going to do that, I'll go back to the base game, get all of those there, and then see where I'm at from a burnout standpoint. And if not, I'll come back and grab these last couple in the tower. And I got to a point where I thought I might give in, mostly because there's no great way to track tower-related ciphers. In the base game, there's a PlayStation activity card that tells you exactly which ciphers you're missing, which then allows you to track, okay, this is the room I'm looking for, and know where that room generally spawns to be able to kind of run towards it. Whereas in the tower, there's no such mechanism for tracking.
It's almost like the truest sense of procedural generation.
Yeah.
So I was able to eventually look through, because the scout logs are still trackable because they have a data bank entry. And I was like, okay, the scout log I'm missing is in a room that spawns in the first section on the 7th floor, generally. And then I was looking through the ciphers, and I was like, there's also a cipher that spawns in that room. I guarantee you that's the cipher I'm missing, because I've seen this room, but I've seen a later version of it without, not the earlier one. I think that's and then I eventually just kept running to the 7th floor, and if it wasn't that room, I just quit out. And then I eventually got it and picked both up and felt the wave of relief.
It's still like, it still veers so far into the parts of the game that are not for me, which we'll discuss at length in the actual episode, but I'm sure it was good, because to me, it sounds a lot like Housemarque really being able to approach it from their kind of traditional arcade roots.
Yeah.
It seems like an extremely, arcadey version of the game that already exists.
Absolutely. And it's not very serious. It's a great way to get little extra story bits. It's a great way to just get more of the gameplay, and you can get they increased the level cap for weapon proficiency there, so you can get up to proficiency 45. So you can get some pretty strong weapons, and that was where I found my love of the Dreadbound, which was a weapon in the base game that I thought was awful.
Which one was that one?
So I think it's generally the second to last weapon you'll find. You find it in the 5th biome. And the reason I didn't like it initially is it doesn't play like any of the other weapons, where all the other weapons, you have your clip. And when you empty it, you've got to deal with overload to be able to,
Is it the one with the three shots that then come back to you?
That just bounce back. So you lose your overload. But if you use it properly and you get into close range with things and get comfortable with it, it can do insane damage.
And it's limitless, basically. If you can get it's almost like a rhythm game. If you can get it done, you just never run out of ammo.
Yeah, it just ping, 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 back and forth.
Yeah, I tested that out a few times and was like, I'm sure this could be good if used well. I don't want to dedicate the time to doing that.
That was how I got my first full clear of the boss in all 3 phases, was with a level 45 Dreadbound.
All right, so
I had my fun with it.
we'll get more thoughts from you as you lead that episode.
Yeah, we're going to be talking a lot more about story and lore.
Yeah, and we'll get into the pros and cons, and a little bit of a teaser there is, like, Andrew texted us the other day as he's, like, going through and, like, kind of perfectly encapsulated my feelings. Like, I've never loved and hated a game more in my life. And it's just like, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it.
It's a game that should make you feel things.
Yeah.
Extremely pissed off at a lot of it. Definitely make me feel something.
Yes, but the best things toe that line perfectly.
Certainly toes the line.
I don't know if I said it in the chat, but I had the absolute cinema kill on Nemesis, where when I was just farming for a majority of things I was missing through biomes 2 and 3, I would just do full runs because there was no point in not, because try to see as much of it as possible to pick up as much stuff. And I was missing the glyph that you get right after beating Nemesis, so I had to beat him anyway. And you know how that works, Ben, and I won't spoil it for Andrew, but I catapulted my way towards him and then just jumped off the last platform directly at him and was just like, I'm either gonna, because I was running out of health, it's like, I'm either gonna get this kill just in your face or you're gonna kill me, and we'll figure this out at that point. I just was unloading the clip as I was falling into the...
You were channeling your inner Wilder main.
Yes.
If only you had a pile bunker.
Grapple in. Got no passive left. Dude, the Night Rain subreddit is absolutely in full-on copium meltdown right now.
About what?
Or every week they data mine. They're like, dude, I swear, Everdark Holster's coming.
Everdark Holster's coming. It's never happening. It's never happening.
They literally, they're sitting there, they're like, Shatter of the Erd Tree weapons are coming. Everdark Holster's coming. No, they won't abandon this game.
They're done with the game, folks. They're done with it. Move on.
Dog, they gave exactly what they said they would. You got hundreds of hours out of it. It's okay to put the game down.
It was a fun experiment for them, and they learned a lot. They learned what they wanted to from it. And as you were saying,
will be cinema.
Dustbloods, I think, is going to be really something to look out for. People who've had their hands on it have been really hyping up the Elden Ring. The Elden Ring Switch 2 port is apparently, it's now running quite well. It was going from running like dog shit to running quite well. So they've definitely they've overcome some hurdles.
And I mean, there's more to it than that too, because Elden Ring is technically porting a game. Dustbloods would be a game built ground up for so you would expect it to run better in general.
Which is, it speaks to that they've got a level of comfortability with the hardware.
I have a lot of fun with the Dustblood subreddit too, because they'll just every now and then pop up on my feed and just be in absolute shit posting matrimony. Well, they'll be like, guys, Skybox is confirmed, and they'll just be a picture from the trailer with just a billion circles and arrows all over it pointing at the Skybox.
Was it a Game Informer article, I think, that I was reading, that they still are affirming that it's still coming out this year?
I guarantee you it'll be the summer showcase Nintendo Direct. And it'll be, because there's no Pokemon this fall, it'll be their fall game.
Do you think Nintendo would do that as a system seller without a family-friendly one as well for the holidays?
I think there'll be a family-friendly one, too.
As their holiday. It seems it would...
I mean, Pokopia...
odd. I mean, people didn't think it was going to, but I have heard, again, it's all anecdotal. We don't have data, but plenty of people have been like, yeah, I'm hearing lots of people, go, I bought a Switch 2 just to play Pokopia.
You see, I'm just glad that this time a cozy sim game from Nintendo didn't immediately coincide with a giant pandemic, even though we are currently going to war, so who knows what that means.
Instead, it's World War III.
So...
Pick your poison. Which do you want? Which would you rather be dealing with?
Well, I don't have to wear masks, so...
Is it going to be a T for teen game or a
Dustbloods is rated M?
Oh, Dustbloods is M. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Cool.
Pretty positive we already know that one.
There's big-breasted vampire women who will...
It's actually rated 10 for everyone. Yeah. It's going back to From Software's actual roots, The Adventures of Cookies and Cream.
D10.
It is it still strikes me as such a weird game, right? That from all metrics, it should be one of their system sellers, right? But it's the type of thing that I get the feeling that they would be really hesitant to market like that and try to position it as a holiday.
They do also understand
system.
To an extent that, like, while Bloodborne is lauded as, an incredible game, it was not a, like, high sale. It sold well. In Nintendo's world, high selling games are, 30 plus million sales.
Bloodborne's 11 million that's a nice little indie game.
Yeah, that's that breaches the Mario Sports game.
Yeah, I'd love to see numbers for Mario Tennis Fever.
You think they're down? I feel like that's not been talked about.
We're coming up on the end of fiscal year.
Mario Tennis Fever.
It came and went.
I know. Like, that's what I'm saying though. Like I feel
the sports games
was
never are like that big a deal, and they've kind of dropped in their quality and their reception as of late.
Yeah.
I've the majority of people that I've heard have been like, yeah, it's fine. There's it's kind of nothing super special. But then there was at least one podcaster who I listened to who was trying to hype up Mario Tennis Fever. I'm like, I'm not going to.
All I was going to say is we are approaching the end of fiscal year for Nintendo. I believe it's the end of March. So we should be getting a financial update where they usually post a bunch of updates on their game sales and console numbers, and because they're not afraid to post their sales numbers, unlike a certain manufacturer.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you actually are selling games and systems, why not post it? All right, Andrew.
Two of them do that, but one of them doesn't.
So speaking of Nintendo, I have still been. I think I spoke a little bit about it because I just started last time we did
astral chaining.
I'm still chaining. I'm still rounding boys up with my Legion. My opinion is love has only gotten stronger for this game. Like, I so badly want there to be a sequel.
Well, welcome to the copium, brother.
Yeah,
is that going to happen?
No. At most, you'll get a spiritual successor from the whatever that new studio that has
all of their other.
But
that has all of the Platinum Games people.
But that's not going to happen, because I'm assuming that there's some weird patent involved with the chain thing that would keep them from doing that, and who owns the IP rights. I don't think we'd ever get it.
Nintendo, since it never left.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's there's almost no way that they would unless this new studio makes a licensing deal with Nintendo, because if it's not Platinum who owns it, then
it's got to be Nintendo. Because
if
it was Platinum, you'd think that they would have released it everywhere.
We're coping. We're coping here. We're spinning up truths that are never going to come to pass.
You don't understand. This new studio, it's not going to be Astral Chain. It's going to be Lunar. Trying to think of an offshoot of Chain. Lunar Carabiner.
Lunar Link would be pretty good. Lunar Hog Tie.
And instead of Legions, it's just stands.
That's bitterly disappointing because
it's an incredible game.
It's really good, and I would love to see how good it would look on if it were made for Switch 2, because it's already impressive.
It was one of the more impressive performing Switch 1 games.
Yeah, no, exactly. The combat is so fun and so slick. The moves you can pull off look incredibly anime. They are very, very. I don't know that there is a much more satisfying rhythm to combat than what they've got with that game.
This is back when Platinum was cooking, and Platinum was one of the best combat making studios out there.
And there's so
what they made Ninja Gaiden 4.
You can change.
Nobody played it.
Nobody played it. Whoops. But on top of that, the story is great. The characters are good. I cannot say enough good things. Neither of you hyped this game up enough, in my opinion, when you played it.
You talking about it just makes me want to put it back in. Go back.
I feel like we have to kind of keep it close to the chest to keep that hopium from overtaking us, right? Because it's if we're if we just focus on how good the game is, it horseshoes around to just being I'm depressed that I'm never going to get more of it. Ouch. I think that's why. No, I was so hot on it when I played it. It was exceptional.
No, I'm so glad that you gave me that game, because it is fantastic.
You never
nailed
would
the
have thought it on
assignment.
your own.
Well, exactly. And that's what I told him. I said, I want you to try and pick something for me that I wouldn't buy, but you think I would enjoy. And fucking A+ on that assignment, because I truly, I don't have much of any critiques. I really don't.
It's absolute cinema.
It's truly, it's a great product of art and gaming. Like, just everything about it's fantastic. And
Now
the
you
jiggle
need-
physics.
Now you need to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Nah. Like, here's the thing. I do want to play the Xenoblade games. I know I will never finish them. I won't. That's the problem.
If you
It'll
don't-
take
if you
him
don't
10
finish them-
years to
If
play
you don't
Xenoblade.
finish them, you're letting down Pyra and Mithra.
Take him 10 years to play
No.
a single game.
I don't think I can do it.
I mean, I don't think he would ever, like, you wouldn't be the type of person like I am, where you would go through
No,
every
absolutely not.
side quest, every collectible.
No.
Like, you can
No.
you can definitely not spend
I
200
didn't-
plus hours on
No,
this game.
I particularly for the first game, I like hardly engaged with side content at all. I did more side stuff in 2, and the stuff that I really did
That's just
to,
because you want all the blades.
well, what I did to grind was less about quests and was more I was grinding out the affinity charts for the blades that I had. Because it's a lot of it is just with this blade kill this number of enemies in this area. So it was a lot of, okay, let's look up where these guys are. I had like a notebook running of
genocide.
of doing all those to build out the affinity charts, because it just makes the blades much stronger, and so had a tangible effect on it. And like for the first one, I think I beat the base game, because I'm not even including the story expansion. Base game, I think I beat in like, I want to say like 60 hours, which, for those games is on the much shorter side.
Yeah, I think all three of them, for me, eclipsed, I think, because I think in my Nintendo recap, all three of them were in my top 6. And I think all three of them eclipsed 130 hours minimum.
Xenoblade 2 for me was like 105. I think I did, and loved every second of it. And that did not count Torna, because I played Torna separately on its own cartridge.
That's my top 6 were so stereotypical, where it was just like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, 3 Xenoblade games, and Super Smash Brothers.
Do not check this man's search history.
I have an open-ended question for the chat. How are we feeling about Crimson Desert?
It's an interesting question there. Andrew, I'll let you go first.
So I'm definitely not a day one. I'm going to wait and see. I think it looks promising, but it also looks enormous. And that always makes me hesitate. Like, unless it's really good and gets really high praise, I think it's just too big for me to have interest in it anytime real soon.
Here's my counter to that for you. From what I have heard about it and about how it's constructed,
Not like a story-intensive game.
It seems like the kind of game where you can, if you're okay with spending the price on it, that you can play it for however long you want until you're satisfied, and you'll be fine. It's like that.
The combat is supposed to be
there's less incentive to try to finish the game if it is not a narrative game like everyone is always saying it's not the next Witcher 3 type of thing. It is much closer to a Zelda
character action game, but open world,
like a Breath of the Wild type thing, where the point is just exploring, and it's however much you want to explore, however much you want to engage, and what you're rewarded with normally by exploring are new combat abilities that then can affect your playthrough. But story is not the driving thing. It is an exploration thing. So if you played it for 30, 40 hours, and if that's enough for you, I could even say if you were fine with the price and played it for 20 to 40 hours and put it down, I think you would, if it's good, if the exploration stuff is good, I think you'd be satisfied. You wouldn't feel bad about putting it down.
Okay, that's interesting.
I asked this question because the Digital Foundry PS5 Pro discussion had me looking.
Yeah, so that video,
I could put this in. I could add this to cart. I can do it right now.
Well, don't pre-order. Do not pre-order, folks. Don't pre-order. Don't pre-order. As a general rule, don't do that. But for this one in particular, do not pre-order. This is an absolutely must wait and see what state it is. And that Digital Foundry video is kind of the perfect example of that. It's because we still don't have the full picture. We're getting more and more information. But that version that they had was a version prior to the new PSSR upgrade that is going to be rolled. That is currently only available to those who have RE Requiem, and will eventually be made a general rollout soon.
There was a couple other games that got listed that they'll be immediately compatible.
This is the next confirmed
Witcher 2.
one. This is the next confirmed one that will have it out the box. And from all accounts, PSSR 2.0, as people are calling it, is a massive improvement over that. And so that's another thing for you to consider, Andrew, is that we still don't know how it's going to play on base PS5.
Time to get a Pro.
No, I'm definitely that's also why I'm definitely going to wait.
If you're going to play GTA 6, it's time to get a Pro.
You're going to play, you think so? You really think that? I don't know.
It's going to be the best way to play it. No question about it. No question about that.
No, I don't doubt that.
PS6 is never happening because by the time that it should launch, RAM shortages will have entered such a new area that when people break into your house, they won't be stealing your TV. They won't be stealing your valuable items. They will just be ripping your laptop open to steal soldered on RAM.
Yeah, so that's kind of like where I'm at right now. It's like what I see is more encouraging. I still have uncertainty that I want to get answered out, and that, Digital Foundry is going to be the main outlet that I look to see these questions answered. From what John Linneman at DF said so far, though, like about the game itself, like he said, he's admitted, yes, there are still questions about performance, and that a lot of these things could be made even better with the new PSSR. Because like performance mode still has some problems in some heavy spots, but that could be ironed out with the new update. But about the game itself, he's like, this is insane. This is like, this is the generational thing that it's purported to be. So I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged, and like I tend to gravitate more towards story, but by playing and really enjoying things like the recent Zelda games, I am way more open to just having a open exploration driven game as well.
People are saying if it's getting the response of like this is a generational type of game, like this is defining part of this era of consoles, then I'll definitely be picking.
Not that it's a good way to balance or metric it, but like what would be your Metacritic score where you're like, fuck, I gotta get this?
For me,
like, what's your Metacritic floor?
That I have to get it?
Yeah. I have to drop what I'm doing and go get this.
I think I would go as low as, don't say it to go as low, it's still a very high score. I think the lowest I could go for that level would be like 88. I'm still interested at lower. If it's an 80, low 80s, it's like this is really good, has some problems that need to be ironed.
Low 80s is where like Stellar Blade fell.
It's like ironed out in post, like post release, that like there's bugs, there's performance issues that need to be ironed out. That it doesn't become the I need to play it now. It's okay, I'm still interested. I'm gonna wait till those things get fixed. But if it's like 88 and above, I think it's gonna be a purchase and play immediately. 90 and above, it's a.
I was gonna say, I think if it breaches 90, might be the first new game I play this year.
Like we said, it's either has the. There's like only two outcomes. That it's like it is the generation defining game up to this point, or it's the most expensive looking 7 out of 10 you've ever played. There's kind of no middle of the road. But yeah, anything below 80, I think I'm probably in an extreme wait for later or pass entirely, because there's plenty of other things I could.
So the Metacritic's drop Thursday?
It's pretty close to its release. I'm fairly certain. Which I feel like Thursday is the release date, so I think it's like the day
Thursday
before.
Is the release date. It's the 19th.
Probably Wednesday.
Yeah, I think it's the day before.
Because like that could be a pretty interesting. Just to point out, like February, March doesn't always have like that many like bang releases.
There have been some heaters,
but you're looking RE9, Pocopia,
dude.
Monster Hunter Stories
So
3.
the part of me that wants it to wants to not have to play it right now is that I do want to play Monster Hunter Stories 3. Because as I'm looking into the schedule, I'm like, if Crimson Desert is really good and I want to play it immediately, I don't know when I will get to Monster Hunter Stories 3 because things really start to pick up in April. We've got like, I plan to do like a let's play or like a review of the I Am Jesus Christ game that comes out on like the 2nd of April. I want to do like a trained theologian plays I Am Jesus Christ.
yes. Please. You have to. That's
maybe
funny.
even get
like
a fake.
that a lot.
Maybe
yes, get a collar. Get a collar. Yeah, you definitely should. Yes.
But then like in April, there's the 2 indie games Replaced and Mouse PI for Hire, and then Pragmata. Then as
April
we're getting to then Sorrows
too, right?
I didn't think that actually had a full release date yet. But
I thought they gave that a release date when they dropped the demo.
I missed that. No, it does. All it still says is 2026.
Spring 2026.
Yeah, Andrew. Getting back to what we played, I'll let you kind of take it away because I had a couple other things that I can save for the end.
Yeah. So we tried a new multiplayer game actually this the past day. Matt, I don't know if you know what it is, but Ben and I have been playing a little bit of Marathon.
You guys have been playing Marathon?
We jumped into Marathon last night, and I've been playing. I played a little bit more today, and then he and I did a run like before we recorded.
After all of the shit talk about Marathon,
I
you
wouldn't
Bungie
say we were...
boys go right back to your daddy. Suckle at the team of Bungie.
Listen, they're still really good at gunplay. I really do like their gunplay.
I haven't been nearly as skeptical, especially the past couple months. I've seen a lot of people positive on it.
I have my complaints for sure.
It still has like no ratings on Metacritic, only 6 critics.
Oh no, it's because they've asked everybody to hold off on it's a bit of a weird situation. They've asked them to hold off on publishing reviews till their last end game zone releases like later this month,
which I guess that's fair.
Currently there are 3 zones, and
I take credit because I sent you that clip of the New York Knicks, definitely not paid and sponsored to play Marathon.
Definitely not.
It was one of those where it was like, you can absolutely tell me, like, gun to my head, like Josh Hart, yeah, he'd be playing that probably regardless, but like OG Anunoby getting invited to go play a video game.
Yeah. No way.
We're playing Marathon.
So yeah, Andrew, what's your kind of like, what's been your takeaway after just this little bit that we played?
I am impressed by aspects of it. I like aspects of it. I am not by others.
Are you going to become an extraction shooter player?
No, I'm not. I don't love the overall genre.
See, that's interesting.
Players,
that's interesting because that's the little bit to me that like I know I'm not going to become like a major player of this type of game, but I'm starting to see a little bit more of the appeal there. It forces you to play more tactically.
Well,
and
like
that's the bit that interests me.
We more or less, I mean, like I don't know how much Helldivers 2 like shares in common with the fullness of an extraction shooter. You're still doing extractions. You're still doing,
I mean,
optional and mandatory mission drops.
The only thing that you extract with in Helldivers are like the samples.
Yeah,
but you're still dropping with the idea of doing set tasks. It's just instead of looting.
There's some crossover, but they're very light. They're very light.
So I agree, but so here's the good. I do like the runs. I enjoy playing the runs. I don't like losing my shit. That's the part of the genre I don't like. Listen, who likes losing their shit? That's a fair complaint, okay? It's fine. I get it. It adds to the challenge. I'm getting over it. I do agree with you, Ben. I'm starting to see
shit legitimately every day.
I'm starting to see the appeal.
Matt, I don't know if you've, with Returnal, like are in how you feel in general actually about the genre, but I heard someone just describe it as treat it more like a roguelike and it will bother you less. It's like, because you also have to realize that, this is a game that's still season-based, and extraction shooters, at the end of a season, you lose all your shit anyways. You start back at 0 anyways, so you lose all your gear anyways. So it's like, whatever.
Okay, yeah, it is just a rogue. Like, anyway,
I have a question for you, Andrew.
Yes.
Does this bring you back to when Destiny 3 comes out? You're gonna be like, all right, Bungie, give it to me, baby.
That's not happening, dude.
Yeah,
Bungie or Destiny 2 is like currently sits at like, I think I saw it was like 6,000 players on Steam.
Well, yeah, because they're all playing marathon.
Apparently. I've had two experiences, one with Andrew and one without, that like I did start to get a little bit of the, that emergent feeling of what makes this genre and these games interesting. Like the mission that Andrew and I did earlier today,
yeah, that's fun.
we're kind of like right down to the wire. It was the last extraction point that was guarded by the enemies. Andrew kept dying around it, and I was out of ammo and had to keep circling around, and I was eventually able to kill the last of the regular guys just with my knife, and there was just a big shield dude who I could really do nothing about, and we were able to kite him enough to get exfil going fast enough so I managed to sneak in with the robot still hovering over Andrew's body, who's able to extract while dead, while dying, and it was really cool. That was really fun.
Yeah.
And then I had an earlier run where I had an actually really chill person who had their microphone open and was talking through the whole thing, and I started working together with him. He found me a good piece of gear for my hero, and like I didn't turn my mic on or whatever, but just like I was communicating to him with like nods and stuff. He's like, there's some people over there. Do we want to go fight them? Like, nod yes or no. And I'm just like, no. And he's just like, we just kind of started laughing, and we almost died and came back and managed to exfil, and it was a fun run. I've heard people complain that like, yeah, the PvE part is harder than the PvP, and I'm like, I personally disagree. The last thing I want to see is another human being, because I get my shit clapped immediately whenever I see a team of people, whereas the robots are hard, but I can manage them a little bit better. Like the time to kill against fellow runners is so fucking short. So it's whoever gets the jump is going to win. And then it's basically whichever squad of 3 gets that first person down, then has that immediate advantage that's just close to insurmountable. So that's a little bit unfun. That's the part of it that's a little bit unfun.
Yeah. So I agree with you that I've started to see some of the appeal. As much as I'm never going to love it, and I'm never going to dedicate hours into
enough
this.
to spend $40.
Well, I wanted to check it out. And here's the thing. The gunplay is fun. The gameplay, that's fun. Here's what's not. The UI. The UI is very confusing and small. It's just even if it were just bigger, I would be less annoyed by it.
The cursor-based UI stuff while in game is infuriating.
Oh
yes,
my God,
you can ignore it mostly, but the fact that it's implemented at all just sucks.
Yes, agreed. We are early in our experience. Who knows how deep it'll go? But I don't love the map. It's fine. It's just not like very, and it just doesn't do anything for me, I guess.
We've only done the one map though, to be fair.
We've only done the one. That's fair. But I'm concerned that I might feel that way for the other 3. Like the fact that it's one of 4 alone is a bit concerning to me. It's just that feels limiting in the amount of enjoyment.
I don't fully dislike it. I told you I had more just some kind of aesthetic qualms with it. I like how synthetic everything looks. Although I like how smooth and kind of almost like antiseptic it all looks. But like there's part of it where it's just like it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense why the habitat units are these fucking bright ass colors. You know, I don't quite. There's something that just doesn't jive with that from it just kind of just feels nonsensical. I like the colors, and I like the art scheme, and I like most of the shell designs, the character designs, most of them. I like a lot of that, but there's just parts of it that just, I was about to say that feel inorganic, but like, of course, yeah, they're all inorganic. And like I just said, they all look and feel satisfyingly synthetic. But I mean inorganic in the sense of it just doesn't feel, the world building of it just feels kind of like, this is cool. I don't have an actual reason behind why it's this way for a lot of it. for a lot of those parts of it. But like in a vacuum devoid of those things, if I turn that part of my brain off, I'm like, yeah, that looks cool. I think those designs are and yeah, that's
I agree. I agree with that assessment.
The only like actual criticism that I have that really makes me fucking mad, that I explained to Andrew, that it was a recent discovery. You have to upgrade your vault. You get your gear, anything you want to keep and not risk on a run, it goes in your vault. But your vault has limited space, and I fucking hate that. I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
And it costs a lot, and all you get are 8 more little cells, like one row to expand it. And like you fill it up. I've done like a handful of runs, and I even got rid of a lot of the low grade loot, and I still filled it up. And a lot of these things are like I've got some high level, like they're items that are not like gear. It's like these are things that you will trade in to a faction to unlock stuff. So I'm like, I haven't seen like a use for them yet, so I'm obviously not going to get rid of them, because if it's going to come down the line that they're useful, I'm not going to get rid of it.
Yeah, you're going to be pissed. Yeah.
I'm going to get pissed when I need it, and I'll go, yeah, I got rid of it.
Yeah.
This rare random item because I needed to make room for a fucking gun. It sucks. That element I really dislike.
Yeah, I'm with you there. If you're going to be able to lose gear, like at least let me have unlimited gear.
Yeah, the vault should be completely unlimited. Because like that way, again, it's like let me hoard as much as I want, particularly if you're going to take it all away eventually. Like, who cares?
Exactly. I wonder if that is I wonder if that's how it works in large.
I'll say this game is not going to make me go try out Arc Raiders. I'm not going to. I'm not that interested.
No, you should. That way, Arc Raiders can scrape your Discord chat.
Because Andrew and I have been playing through Discord. So. No, all right. While we have just a little bit of time left, so those are just some. Unless you've got any last couple thoughts about Marathon, we'll maybe touch back on it when we play some more.
Yeah.
I've played fewer games this month because I've been playing some longer stuff. I did, of course, finish Neo. I had just started playing Neo when we recorded last time, but I platinumed Neo. Quite enjoyed that. But I played mainly 2 games. I played Solasta Crown of the Magister, which is a CRPG from 2020. I forget. It's not super recent, but it's an SRD open source rendition of like the 5th edition D&D rule set. It's a quite literal translation of the pre 2024 rule change D&D, and on that level, really good. It really succeeds on that translation in the good and the bad ways of how the system's positives and negatives, right? Taking that literal transition into the game has all its accompanying baggage. The game itself I wrote a review of it on my backlogged account, and I think I described it as like, unless you are like a extreme lover of 5th edition, if you just go so nuts for 5th edition and you love the combat of 5th edition and nothing else, this is an easy recommend, because that's just what the game excels at. It is very combat driven and is good expression of that. It's a terrible like campaign. It's the writing is so bad. The narrative, the lore is just so bare bones. It's a very cheap looking game because it was made on a shoestring budget, and it looks it and you can tell. But I played it mostly because the sequel that's just gone into early access looks really good and looks like it's improved a lot. It's switched from Unity to which for a turn-based game is, will have less issue. They've got some, really good. I would hope the writing will meet the caliber of the voice acting that's in it. Our boy Ben Starr is one of the main characters. Oh, yeah. So they've got actually quite a few. I think the actress who plays Lae'zel from Baldur's Gate is also in it. I don't know if Jennifer English is. I don't know. I'm not sure. I know one of the other Baldur's Gate actresses. But yeah, that looks quite good. So I wanted to get this out of the way. And it was fun. It was fine. It was like 30 something hours, 35. So not particularly long either. But like it's a tough recommend for almost anybody, in my opinion. Even if you're a CRPG like diehard, there are better games to go play. And then I have been playing, and I'm like almost done with. I've probably got another 12-ish hours, maybe a little bit less, of Digimon Story Time Stranger. I've been converted, folks. Like the Digimon data I've been gathering, I've been converted and am becoming a Digimon head. I've got
Did
some
you
issues.
Golden Egg Digivolve?
I have, there's an egg at the central plot that starts it off, and there are these eggs you can get to Digivolve certain creatures, but I've only had to use them like
the golden
once.
egg gets you Magnamon.
And so like there's like an infinity egg thing that you can, or something that you can get for completing this like end game side quest, like a Coliseum thing. And so there are elements of the game that are starting to wear a little thin for me. One of it being its side quests. And I think I'm gonna actually not do the end game side quest. They essentially are mandatory up till this point that I've now gotten to, because you've got something called your agent rank, that the side quests are going to be the majority of your resources for like your skill points. That like spending your skill points rises your rank, and then the different levels of digi evolution are tied to the rank. Like to go from rookie to champion to ultimate to mega are tied to certain progressions. So now that I've gotten to mega, I don't think I'm going to do any more, because there's like 70-ish total side quests in the game. The 40 of them don't unlock until the game's final mission.
Ooh.
They absolutely dumpster you with like 12 more hours of side quests at the end. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I don't think I'm going to do that, actually. So I'm just going to play the rest of the game through to the end and just finish that up. But yeah, there's some bits.
There's only one burning question on my mind. Who is your team?
I don't remember.
Hit me with these weird little guys.
Fuck, I don't remember all their names, because I just digivolved to Mega. I had, oh fuck. And of course, again, I don't remember all their names. Anyways, I'm still such a newbie. I had for a while I even like knew it in the back of my head, but now I can't think of it. It's like one of like the kind of the picture, like one of their poster boy kind of ones. It's
Agumon?
Like, he's kind of half mecha dinosaur guy with some wings, just like Mecha Agumon or something.
That's Metal Greymon.
Metal Greymon, that's who it is. Yeah. Metal Greymon was one. Datamon was one that he's like a little robot that he's digivolved into something else.
I mean, you've already told me enough that you haven't built an entire team of like Lilithmon and all of and like Angelmon and all. I
had Magna Angel, like a Magna Angel Man for a while.
Magna Angemon.
Yeah, Magna Angemon. I had him. He was what had evolved from my starter.
Yeah.
But oh my god, dude, fucking Venusmon. Holy shit did they cook with that character design. What the fuck?
They have better design.
I'm looking this up right now.
Oh my god, dude. Fuck. It's insane. She's a pretty central character in this back half.
Oh.
I just hear it like, fucking
interesting.
Fucking stacked.
You see, first off, this is why
Digimon is definitely better than Pokemon.
Because the fuckable Digimon are at least humanoid.
It's funny how she started off as Shellmon, who is just this big fucking turtle, and then turned into just like this incredibly sexy woman. Hilarious.
Digivolving has like 4 branching paths. You either get a gun, you either become fuckable, you become twisted horrors beyond your imagination,
or a furry, or you become a furry, or you just become an animal of some kind. I did also digivolve. It wasn't part of my main team, but I've now saved it, and I'm sending her to the Digifarm to boost some stats. There's another deity one. It was like it was the only one that I've been able to like do a special evolution from after Mega. It was like a deity, like again, I just got it last night, like at like 1 a.m. last night, so I don't really remember. But I'm a fan of the game as a whole. I've got some critiques, mainly besides that whole bullshit with the side quest. The art design, or like the environment design for the different regions that you go through in the digital world, You spend most of it in the digital world. Very, very interesting, very like visually appealing. The levels themselves are kind of dog shit, and you just are running back and forth through them repeatedly.
They've learned a lesson from the Cyber Sleuth games of at least making them visually interesting.
No, they look great. They really look great, and like have some like really great atmosphere that also is not static in the sense that things happen in the story, and to see this like lively city, like the town of all the Digimon living happily together, or like this ocean area where Shellmon and Venusmon came from, you know, like beautiful coral reef or whatever, to then see like them get devastated and the aftermath of a major story event, to see the stark contrast between this like really bright, beautiful, happy area to this like utter devastation is impactful, and I think really well done. But again, just the running through the levels and having to do it repeatedly, and the fast travel that exists is there, but it also sucks.
I just appreciate that they allow Digimon riding, but they were very careful about what Digimon you can ride.
Yeah. I almost sent you a picture of this, but of course I've now digivolved past it. So Mecha Greymon, you know, there were plenty of them where it's like, you would ride them like one of them was basically like a Pegasus, and it was just like you ride it like a fucking horse. You just ride it like a horse. Him, on the other hand, he just like I of course am playing as the woman character. He just picks me up and I sit on his big metal claw, and I just sit on his big metal claw and like ride, you know, side saddle basically as he carries me around. It's so cute.
I mean, as a Digi head, the Greymon line is the quintessential line. You go Metal Greymon, you get War Greymon, you get
that's like the
Shine Greymon.
That is like the poster child.
Yes, Agumon and Greymon, his evolution, are the theoretical Pikachu to 90s Digimon.
Yeah.
I
say theoretical because like Pikachu is ubiquitous with culture, and if I showed people Greymon, they'd be like, "What Pokemon is that?"
Yeah, what cool little dinosaur Pokemon is that? I took him eventually in one of the alternate paths, because you can tell me if this is the thing from earlier games or not. The personality system, So like mine is
personality. At least in the earlier games, dictates what their like stat spread will be as they level up.
So what it covers that as well.
Makes different evolutions easier.
Yeah, so it covers like their stat growth habit, but also some of the skills you can buy will be like for this personality, when you digivolve them to the same personality, the stat requirements, and you can stack these things, are cut dramatically. So rather than it having to be 2,000 attack, instead it's like 600.
Do they still make you yo-yo? Because like in Cyber Sleuth, a lot of evolutions require you to go up and then back down, because when you go back down, you increase your level caps. So
you can
level up higher to hit the stat.
You definitely can. My core team with this, I'm sure you could still even min-max it further to their growth. It's probably like it would be like to get their stats to like 9999. You could do that, but I'm not going to grind to that level. They have through my normal evolution, I've gotten them to their level caps of my main team is now all 99. So I'm
I
not
just
at
remember
level 99
in Cyber Sleuth in particular, I don't remember which evolution line it was, but there was one line that required just like heavy maintenance of like, get it to its cap, evolve it, get that to its cap, evolve it, get that to its cap, evolve it, and then de-digivolve it all the way back down, and then do it one more time, because you have to get the first form to be able to get to 99 to be able to max its stat out, because the Digimon you would digivolve into was just busted.
Yeah. So this one, it's like, again, I don't know if this is any different. I'm sure this is probably a series standard, but so there's like the bond level with your Digimon. So the more you fight with them, your bond level increases, and
it can increase with the other Digimon in the party too, allowing for party attacks.
There's synergies, certain like group attacks that will like combine based off of their shared affinity. But then it's like the major thing about the bond, I think, is about when you digivolve and de-digivolve, it increases it increases the there's like a certain level of stat that they will maintain. So if they've got the bond,
they
you can
hold
then
their stats better.
And so that means when you de-digivolve them, they will start at a higher point than they would have, and therefore when you continue to then the normal process back again, they will end up in a much higher thing. Yep. I'm playing on normal difficulty. I'm not going to go that far anyways. I'm not doing that. I've basically in the ultimate one, when I got them to ultimate, was the closest I was getting to, or just before I got to Mega, was now the closest I had gotten to them actually hitting their level cap. I had to use a level enhancer, a talent enhancer on one of them to manually raise its level cap on one of them. But basically what I've done is like, because the game, you'll get fucking punished if you don't. It's like, it's the best idea is to digivolve them when you can. And then basically all the other ones, unless it's a Digimon that you really for some reason want to, and I really have to be just for people who know these evolution charts like the back of their hand. It's like, this is a Digimon you really want, so you get its data up to 200% to when you convert it. It's got a higher base stat, and then that's how for Andrew giving the quizzical face, that's how like the capture system works, rather than like throwing a Digiball type of thing. It's every time you fight a creature, you get a percentage of its data, and as soon as you get 100 or above, you can convert that data into a Digimon. If you get it to 200%,
you get a stronger version.
It's max, and it's a stronger version. So it's like if you want to be able to use that as a party Digimon, you want to get it to 200 before you convert it.
If you want it just to be farm slop.
And so basically now though, because it's like I have my team, I'm not grinding like that. Every Digimon I get to 100 gets immediately converted, gets immediately digivolved to its highest potential, and then just hits its level cap, and then gets fed to my team to boost their levels. I feed them to my main team, and they will go up.
Soylent Green is Digimon.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the episode title. I got to write that down. But yeah, it's been really good. I'm like just getting to the point now where I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to be done. Which is kind of why I texted Andrew. I'm like, yeah, I've seen enough good things.
Let's play Marathon.
Curious enough to be willing to spend the $40 to play Marathon. It's not that much money. Let's test it out. And that's kind of where I'm at. And so I'll be kind of in a holding pattern until I get those definitive announcements about Crimson Desert.
Couple days.
I'm surprised you haven't played RE9 yet, Andrew.
He's got to finish the 2 remake first.
Yeah, I'm working through things on my way there.
You're the only person I know who isn't currently thirsting over
I mean, I am via social media.
There was a video I saw of a woman playing, and Leon was like cranking a handle and was like grunting while he was cranking the handle. And she was like, oops. And he like let go and it went back, and she went into her settings and shut all the sound off, and then just turned his VFX all the way up. And she was just like, I need this. And just like had him crank the handle for 5 minutes.
Don't mind me putting my voice memo app up to the speakers. I'm recording this for science. That's I've seen some funny memes though, like, pictures of Grace looking like super grungy, and it's like she looks like the type of woman who would tell you how easy it is to mod a Nintendo 3DS. That was the latest one I saw.
That's good. That's good.
Really
that's
funny.
good.
All right, yeah. So that's all that we've been playing this past month. Some good stuff, some kind of middling stuff. Excited to. We'll see. Yeah, maybe be playing the game of the generation next month. We'll see.
We'll see.
Hopefully, we haven't jinxed it. Fingers crossed that's good. All right, folks. Till next time, you can support us by following us on all the social medias. Give us a like, subscribe, review 5 stars on your podcast app of choice. Really helps us out. And I think that's it for now. All we've got left to announce, because next week will be up in the air, some type of video or like mini pod to be determined. Then it'll just be news and Returnal upcoming. So that's set your calendars. Because I will say now, the last spoiler for the Returnal episode is that I hated and loved the game enough that everything that I've seen about the changes that they're making for Saros, I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy it. Like, so long as it's
spoiler alert, everyone, he's doing it because it's a male main character.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they finally changed the sex of the character.
All right. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.